But this kid right here, I can see it in his face. He does not believe what he's saying. Look, he says yeah. Run this back. He says yeah and looks to his boys to make sure that, like, okay, like, let me just follow the lead. Make sure we're all on the same page here. Yes. Look, the look over. Hey, what's Big Bro thinking? I think we're gonna beat him. Is Big Bro gonna call me an idiot? Because no way we beat Ohio State. So I don't know what to call this video, but like I really enjoy College Football Saturdays, and not just for the games, but like everything else you get like kind of surrounding the games. And I just finished up all my research and all my rewatching to record with Tyler, and we're gonna record in a couple hours for our Saturday recap episode. But I had a little bit of time, and I was like, you know what? Like let me throw together this. A lot of stuff that probably isn't worth like doing a full scale episode of, but a bunch of it, maybe it is. Who knows? I loved this just because, you know, Ohio State, Michigan is the best rivalry in the world. Now, here we go. This is Dave Portnoy during the Michigan State game. And Ohio State, Michigan is the best rivalry in the world because during your current rivalry game, you couldn't wait but to throw a shot and talk about the big rivalry game. I thought this was awesome. Just want to give it a quick whirl.
What is this play? Oh, cut it up. Touchdown, Underwood. 10-0 Michigan. Let's blow this team out of the fucking water. Now, I would have cut it up, but that speed.
I would have cut it up. Yeah, Dave, you would have cut it up.
Bryce Underwood is starting to come into the zone. I'm telling you, I know fat boys sitting there eating fucking milk, cookies, ice cream, fucking cheese curls, pizza, Chinese food, just wolfing it down.
I think he's talking about Ev, right? Because there's no way he's talking about like Ryan Day.
Getting worried about this Michigan team because they're starting to roll into shape. They're starting to play their best ball.
Okay, two parts of this. I think it's awesome that obviously, like, during your rivalry game with Michigan State, you can't wait to talk about Ohio State. I love it. I think that's actually a really good rivalry thing. The second part of it, if you want to use the Michigan State game as kind of a data point to talk about, I guess, rolling into shape, so be it. I do think this Michigan team is a good football team, but they kind of did what everybody expected them to do against Michigan State. But it is fun. Underwood definitely is getting there. So it's gonna be interesting to kind of like watch his continued, I guess, development and growth. And then this picture made its way around. This is Bryce Underwood, I think, right? Yeah, this is from Grant Puskar. Game not over. 86 passing yards, and Bryce Underwood is taking selfies with fans. It's funny because I do think that, like, no matter what, like, you can find something to get upset over in terms of, like, college football. I think this kind of thing makes college football awesome. Like, I would love if, like, Braxton Miller did this, or obviously, like, if Jeremiah Smith did this, like, it would be awesome. But it is fun because every college football team, like, within their own fan base, people love things, and then outside the own fan base, everybody hates things. Thought it was funny. Thought it was kind of worth a quick mention on that front. What else do I got? Oh, dude. I'm going to talk about this with Tyler, I'm sure. Diego Pavia and Vandy. Another win. Another big game. They're doing it. He's got the two-turn. Now, for those who don't know, Vanderbilt launched their Heisman campaign for Diego Pavia, and that is the slogan, two-turn. He wears number 2. Obviously, he idolizes a guy like Johnny Manziel. He got asked point blank, does he deserve the Heisman? Which, okay. So be it. Go. Let's do it.
I got to ask it. Vanderbilt launched the campaign this week. Do you believe you should win the Heisman? Why? But beyond all that, too, how bad do you want it to just kind of, you know, for your O-line, for the rest of the people around you to prove what you guys have done here?
First off, hell yeah, I believe it. You know, we just got to keep winning football games. And, you know, I feel like the schedule that we got, obviously it's a difficult schedule playing in the SEC. You'll play a lot of ranked teams.
I got to ask it.
Obviously, you're in the SEC. You'll play a lot of ranked teams. Hilarious, because obviously he knows in the SEC he's going to play a lot of ranked teams because, you know, there's some SEC biases there. And we're at the point of the season where we're starting to feel some, like, Ohio State fatigue, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. I believe that in every one of Diego Pavia's big games, he threw for under 200 passing yards, which is awesome. Now, obviously, they beat Mizzou. Go be it. Go do your thing. He is a mobile threat, too, and I'll talk about that a little bit with Tyler. But, look, I love this for two reasons. I think that like for Vandy, like in terms of like your marketing and kind of like your campaign, you need guys that want to win the Heisman to kind of, to kind of stamp it. It's not something you see often. A lot of times guys like will defer and go to like, oh, we'll just worry about team accomplishments. I think the answer that he gave was awesome. I don't know if it cut it off, but later on in the interview, he said we just need to keep. Yeah, I know he said we need to keep winning games. Like hell yeah, I want to win the Heisman. I think I should win the Heisman. But I I also want to keep winning games. Got something else that I want to
Love to
address.
touch on this. So
This one I think matters because I did a video on it yesterday. There was a report yesterday that came out about Steve Sarkisian being interested in going to the NFL. His agent his agent let that report sit for a little bit and then came out with a statement. I thought that I was going to write a segment during the Texas game about Sark maybe should go because I thought they were going to lose that game. Obviously, they pulled a really great comeback. And after the game, it's unavoidable because the report came out Saturday morning before you play a game. And he's going to get asked after a big comeback win about the report about coaching in the NFL, whether he would leave Texas. This is what Sark had to say.
Yeah, I'd love to touch on this. So bear with me for a second because it really pisses me off that one person can make a report that in turn the entire media sports world runs with as factual. To the point of my agency and my agents have to put a statement out that they never have done. Historically, CAA, Jimmy Sexton, and Ed Manowitz have never do that. But I had to do that to protect my locker room and my team. And I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was completely unprofessional of that person to put that report out. And the fact that everybody ran with it is borderline embarrassing for the media. And I respect what you guys do. I really do. And everybody else. But the fact that everybody ran that as truth is really embarrassing. Okay, so I've got a small circle when I make decisions on what I do and what I don't do. And nobody would speak on my behalf without me knowing. And so where that report came from, I'd love to talk to that person because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Now, a couple things on Sark. I don't think that a lot of the media ran with it as fact. I thought people, at least what I tried to do when I did a video on it, was, hey, this is being reported, and then my focus was what it would mean. A couple articles that I read, some of them on camera, some of them off camera, it kind of, I thought that some of them echoed that same thing and kind of like talked about his NFL ties, but it doesn't seem like any other reporter kind of had anything on this. So I don't know if I would have said that anybody ran with it as fact, but I think it would be negligence for, look, it came from a pretty sizable journalism network. So it would be negligence for anybody in media to like see that report come out in the morning and completely ignore it. And a lot of the other reporting on other stories were, look, this is being floated out there by somebody else in the industry that does generally a good job. So we have to acknowledge it, right? So I get Sark's frustration. I don't think that people ran with it as fact. I think people ran with it assuming that she heard something and reported it. Now, whether she's right or wrong, it falls on her because obviously she did the reporting. But for me, at least, I don't think I ran with it as fact. I thought I ran with it as, holy shit, this is kind of wild. She definitely heard something to kind of get this out. But I guess like in a vacuum, this is a good answer because like you said, he's got to keep his locker room together. And the fact that, his agency kind of addressed it really quickly, I think is a good thing. And like I said at the last video that I did about Sark, that I fully expect him to not go to the NFL at the end of the year. I think it'd be foolish almost to go to the NFL at the end of the year. Because I think Texas the last 2 years has been in the Final Four. Like that's impressive no matter how you slice it. Now he's got to start winning some big games, but he might just be the Michael Jordan of James Franklin's. Who knows? So shout out Sark for addressing that really quickly. What else do we got? Oh, dude. So the A&M versus LSU game, I thought was a really, really fantastic game. I think Brian Kelly might be in some danger. I don't think it'll be this year. I think it'll likely be next year. But if that LSU job does open up, get ready. It's going to be a crazy, crazy roller coaster. I wish I was better at reading lips. I will admit that I had help with this one because there is a caption on it saying, 76-yard punt return for a touchdown. Coach Brian Kelly tells. I mean, we'll just go through it and do it. So this was after the 76-yard punt return for a touchdown. Obviously, the A&M scored. All right, let me see. Let me mute this. He's talking to the special teams coordinator. Shout out to the cameraman for switching over and catching this interaction. It will cost you your fucking job. Let me rewind it a little bit. This is awesome. I really wish I was good at reading lips. All right, let's see. Will cost you your fucking job. I don't know what else he said. Will cost you. Right. Will cost you your fucking job. Yeah, dude. Obviously, like special teams blunders, I think are super loud usually. Like whenever a team messes up on special teams, it'll always get remembered than like having really good special teams. That's part of the reason that that Parker Fleming caught so much flack because like the special teams have not been really great this year at Ohio State, but there's not like the big fat ass blunders that you can point to be like, yeah, this shit's a fucking disaster of disasters. But Brian Kelly, man, again, like if I could,
wasn't too pleased with it.
Hold up, if I could read lips, I feel like I could do so many cool things with this channel, but I cannot read lips. I'm bad at reading lips. God damn it. Something back. Called it fucking short. I don't know what he's saying, but the cameramen were focused on Brian Kelly, knowing he was going to say some unhinged shit to his staff, and obviously like he came through. He came through. Again,
3.5 seconds.
They kept cutting back to Brian Kelly throughout this game, like because they knew he was going to melt down. LSU at night, like no way should they lose this game. Now A&M is really good, and we're going to touch on A&M on the big show. People think they should be the top team in the country, but just like Brian Kelly all night.
Mike Elko.
Let me mute it before I get fucking kid. But the fucking why? Just pissed, dude. I mean, maybe don't kick to the fucking kid is what he's saying, because the kid is absolutely dialed and feeling it. So, and then how kind of this whole thing ended up, and again, like this LSU job is interesting. He's definitely feeling the pressure. Now, I got wind or word a week ago that there was going to be a lot of pressure on Brian Kelly, just because like this is a really fantastic job, and he did kind of address, I guess, some of those grumblings that I'm sure other people down there are hearing. And after a loss, it's always easier to ask a coach something.
It hasn't really gone that way. What level of concern do you have for yourself with the faith the program should have for you?
I mean, that's out of my...
Crazy. What level of concern do you have in your future with the program?
For the team, it hasn't really gone that way.
You can tell he was nervous, man. He started to stutter a little bit on the front end of the ask.
For the team, it hasn't really gone that way. What level of concern do you have for yourself with the faith the program should have for you?
I mean, that's out of my hands. It's impossible for the head coach that's been here, for 4 years and 35 years of doing this, to think anything else but this is my responsibility, and we've got to get it turned around. And that's not my decision in terms of whether I'm here or not, but that's what I will do as a head coach that's been doing it for over 3 decades. When things are not going well from a football standpoint, the head football coach has to be agile enough and able to make those changes and find out
For the team,
That was a really good answer, I feel like. And honestly, like I don't think Brian Kelly should be on the hot seat for losing this A&M game. I mean, like right now, like people are talking about A&M like they are have our consideration for the top win in the country. I do think this loss is a little bit of a storyline loss. Aaron Torres reported this. He said one of Brian Kelly's first moves as LSU's coach was firing Tommy Moffitt, a legendary strength coach who was part of all 3 LSU titles this century. Tommy is now the strength coach at A&M. This is the second year in a row where A&M has absolutely bullied LSU. Just saying. And then obviously, like, A&M players are going to get asked about Tommy because this was, I guess, kind of a personal thing. Again, like, the personality of your program a lot of times is the strength and conditioning coach. I know it was really important for Urban Meyer that if Ryan Day took over, that, like, you know, Marotti would be the strength coach because, like, that's the personality of things. And now you've got, you know, players at A&M getting asked about the strength coach, and it was clear that there was a little bit of animosity and that he should have never gotten fired. So here is kind of a story told, and, you know, you when you fire Tommy, whew, good luck.
Yeah, so was there any part of this win that was for Coach Moffitt, and what does he mean to y'all as players?
Coach Moffitt, dude. Tommy Moffitt. Admittedly, I didn't know too much about him until I think this came up a year ago around this game. But, you know, the stories that were told about him, he does seem like kind of a Mickey Marotti type of the South.
Yeah, so was there any part of this win that was for Coach Moffitt, and what does he mean to y'all as players?
I mean, yeah, Moffitt got some Gatorade poured on him at the end of the game by the O-line, for sure. But, yeah, Moffitt, you know, wanted this game just as bad as anyone else. And, you know, I remember Thursday he kind of brought in a tackling dummy with Brian Kelly's face on it. We all just started kicking and stomping and stuff like that. But, yeah, he this one was an important one to him. And they kind of told us the story of the night before we even got here, you know, just kind of kicking him in the butt, and the crowd will start to empty out towards the third and fourth quarter. And, you know, they did. Our crowd started to go over there and kind of take over their student section and try to make all the noise at the end of the game. So, I mean, it was really cool, but definitely played a little bit of this game for Moffitt because he has so much passion for the game, and he does so much for us, yeah.
Awesome. I mean, and Tommy Moffitt, again, like, just the story of him, like, bringing in a Brian Kelly, you know, all of them, having all them, like, punching and kicking and shit. That's, like, very, like, Mickey Marotti when it comes to, like, the Ohio State-Michigan workouts in the offseason. And, like, for me, at least, it's, like, when that kind of thing happens, it's like, like, you want a coach to kind of have his own identity, but you do run the risk of, like, getting embarrassed like this down the road. And Tommy Moffitt, I mean, being at A&M and beating them twice, and then A&M looking like a legit top 3 team in the country, and kind of the strength and conditioning coach being kind of, I mean, a legendary guy, you know, in the SEC ranks. It's got to hurt for Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly came in and flipped LSU on its head and kind of trusted himself, trusted his own guns. And time will tell, but he might, you know, he might end up losing his job for it. Another thing that I want to just kind of touch on real quick, Indiana, they've continued to dominate. They have been absolutely fantastic. I saw this headline. ESPN College Football posted this. UCLA 6, Indiana 56. That's Mendoza, obviously, at the top. And they used a picture of Tim Skipper. Most people didn't even know that Tim Skipper was the interim head coach because he's been the Neuheisel kid the entire time. Every time UCLA did something good, every time UCLA got a win, it was Neuheisel. It was Neuheisel. It was Jeffrey Lonister. It was him getting carried the Penn State game. It was always him. And then they lose, and they're like, let me slap Tim Skipper on it. Let me slap Timmy on it. Not saying it's racist, but I'm not saying it's not racist. It definitely feels fucked up, though, no matter how you slice it. It's like, damn, we didn't want to give Tim Skipper any love at all. Any love at all. Wild. I saw that, and I couldn't help but laugh because, like, they have been showing the other guy, Neuheisel, nonstop, to the point where if you ask most college football fans who's the interim head coach, they would say Neuheisel. But shout out Sig and Indiana for getting that one done. They've been incredible. And then obviously, like, I think that Indiana does have a case to be number 1 in the country. Tyler and I are going to dig into it. I think they are super elite, but I would not put them number 1 in the country because, you know, I am a little bit rational. Then I thought this was a good piece of content. I think Fox did this. They went around, they were at IU, and they went around asking, can Indiana take down Ohio State? And look, you know what? Indiana might have the most pleasant fan base in college football. You don't really hear too much about them other than some of the loud accounts saying that we've got the best receiver duo, which is cool. Like get into that. And you would think with a coach as over the top and arrogant as Cignetti that would kind of bleed through the fan base. I don't think it did, but I did think this video was a good piece of content.
Yes. 100%.
See the first guy? Yeah. And they don't even believe it. But these girls, they're realists.
I think we can give him a run for their money.
Yes, 100%. By 10 at least.
Oh, that was crazy. By 10 at least. But at least you could. None of these guys believe this shit, which is cool, though. Which is cool. Let me start over. So I don't talk right now.
Yes. 100%.
Notice.
Yes.
This kid right here doesn't believe anything he's saying. Both hands in pocket. Wide stance. When you believe something, like you're going to beat a team, you always talk with your hands. Hands all in pocket, unless it's cold. But this kid right here, I can see it in his face. He does not believe what he's saying.
Yes. 100%.
Look, he says yeah. Let me run this back. He says yeah and looks to his boys to make sure that, like, okay, like, let me just follow the lead. Make sure we're all on the same page here.
Yes.
Look, the look over. Hey, what's Big Bro thinking? I think we're going to beat him. Is Big Bro going to call me an idiot? Because no way we beat Ohio State. He's looking over there. Eye contact. Good. This guy, he's an extra. They had an extra ticket or, an extra spot, and he just brought in. But this is the guy. This is the leader. That's why he's looking at him like that. Eye contact. Really important.
Yes. 100%.
He can't believe it. Asked the question, and she immediately shook her head no.
I think
No. He's in disbelief. He wants to impress the ladies, though.
give him a run for their money.
Yes, 100%. By 10 at least. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
This fit is horrible. This is awful. But you know what? I believe you, big man.
Ryan Day can't coach.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, Ryan Day can't coach.
And you get dressed with the lights off.
Born on third base. I think we can.
Born on third base. Indiana fans are funny, man. You can tell, like, they are good now, and they want to learn how to troll. They want to be good at trolling. So it's like, what are we going to do to troll? We are going to... I mean, there's only been one team that's beat Ohio State recently, and it's been Michigan. So let's, like, use some of their lines to talk about it.
We number one right now? I love that. Yes.
He's watched one football game the last 3 years. Tall guy, though. Probably plays a lot of basketball, right? Is that what tall people do? He's watched a lot of football. He's concerned. All he knows is we beat Oregon, so we got it. This dude, I've seen Ohio State. I don't want to cross that bridge.
I love that. Yes. Full confidence. And it would be a good game. It would be a good game. They might actually give us some issues, but I think we would probably take them on, yeah.
Okay. I can respect that. Don't be a cuck for Ohio State, but I can respect it. I can't tell if this kid is 12 or 21. His face looks like it belongs on his body in terms of, like, how old he looks.
Yeah, it's not going to be close when we play in the Big Ten Championship. 56-21, I win.
Well, hell yeah. Well, hell yeah.
Without a doubt. We play in the Big Ten.
Hands in pocket like that, hands in pouch, they don't believe the shit they're saying. But this fit is dope. I do like the Indiana jersey over the hoodie.
56-21.
He's like, bro, I know you fucking lying. 56 points on Ohio State's defense. Have you seen Matt Patricia coach? Get the hell up out of here.
Well, hell yeah.
Without a doubt. Big Ten championship.
Fuck Ohio State.
Yeah.
What?
Big Ten.
What did he say?
Well, hell yeah.
Without a doubt. Big Ten championship.
Fuck Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they don't believe that. You see the shoulder touch right here, pushing him off the screen. She's laughing. Hey, if you can make them laugh and giggle, I'm just saying, bro, they don't believe that. They say, fuck Ohio State, then they all start laughing. They're so polite, even when they're trying to troll. This is, like, adorable. I love Indiana, man. I love them. Pants hard. Both fits are dope. Is she getting married? Bridesmaid? Indiana game? The Indiana upside-down hat, elite.
In my life, for sure.
I think we got a chance, but, we definitely got to work.
Big Ten football, and we're in full time, and you got a slide on, I know your socks are about to be wet by the end of it. You're about to be miserable. He doesn't believe it either. Look at the face.
No.
You know ball. You also know ball. Look at that.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
I think we can give him a run for their money.
Yes, 100%. By 10 at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Ryan Day can't coach. 4 on third base.
I think we could be number 1 right now.
Love that. I love that. Yes. Full confidence. And it would be a good game. It would be a good game. They might actually give us some issues, but I think we would probably take them on, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be close as like the Big Ten championship. 56-21 out here.
Hell yeah.
Without a doubt. Big Ten champion.
Love to Ohio State.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we got a chance, but, we definitely got to work.
So RJ Day had me fooled. I love that kind of thing, man. They've been really, really good this year, and they've been a blast to watch. But anyway, that's just some things that I like on the college football internet side of things. Make sure you hit that notification button and the bell button. We will be. Me and Tyler got an episode coming out a little bit later that I just finished the research up a little bit earlier. Obviously, like, be a friend, tell a friend, I think is what they say. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours.